Realistically, is it worth it to pick this up? By popular request, we've put up some of the deck boxes without the Field Center bonus. All of those should be gone at this point. And if one or two of them come back up, it's because, well, people don't know how to pay. There was a cancellation or two along the way. So leave a link down below so you can grab your Promethean Princess Ponix deck box today. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button. Yes, we are mid-snowstorm, so we're in the office here. That way we don't have to listen to the wind from outside. So we're going to start off over here with Vermillion Sparrow and the Pyro Fusion Squad. First of all, we do know that the next TCG exclusive archetype is supposed to be something Pyro-related along the way. As we're filming this, Vermillion Sparrows are like $3 a piece right now. So I guess the question you got to ask yourself here is this in Cherubini the level 3 other Pyro monster? Are these ready fusion targets worth it? And these sorts of lines, we talk about wanting to be prepared in case something crazy comes along the way. And I don't have an answer for you. I've already personally collected one of each of the vanilla monsters because I was like, oh, I want to be prepared for every sort of situation. You never know. I guess the motto on this channel is don't want to be caught with your pants down. And Vermillion Sparrow checks some of those boxes of, we have fire support. They're continuing to turn it out right now. And if you look at the Soul Hunter example out here, where, some of these Unchained builds were playing this to supplement the loss of Shyama, to speed up the DDD process. But we also saw builds out here that didn't need the Soul Hunter Ready Fusion package. Both sides of the equation have success. And also, looking at Vermillion Sparrow and Cherubini right now, there is currently maybe you're going to use these as stepping stones for synchros. Sparrow is a 5, you have access to a 3 with ready and instant fusion. Sure, those are some major things to consider out here, but you've got to ask yourself, in what situation do I feel that I'm going to need these? What kind of hype can we have coming out here that could push this? But remember, we have Phantom Nightmare right here on the horizon, all right? Most of these TCG exclusive archetypes take 2 cycles to do something, and then even so, by the time that we get what we would consider, the foot in the ground support, the deck is barely functioning at a tier 2 status, which is a little bit unfortunate to think about. I guess it's kind of the curse of the TCG. When you look at these things, is the things aren't going to really get good until they get their OCG support, which, thank you, by the way, Goaties. Goaty was a prime example, Spiral in the past. It's not to say that these archetypes will not take off, but right now, you are taking an opportunity to look at these cards, and it's all opportunity cost. It is all, do I think that whatever stuff is coming down the pipeline for the rest of the Year of Fire, whatever TCG exclusive archetype that, you're going to need Bonfire for out here, do we think that Vermillion Sparrow and Cherubini are going to be relevant cards? Also, Cherubini, level 3, Goblin support, consideration out here, jokes aside, you can at least multitask and consider that. But I don't know. The Ready Fusion debacle with all of these super short print commons amazes me, but Konami's proven to us that they can reprint these things relatively easily. Look at Rare Fish, look at some of the other prime examples that we've had throughout the years right now. So I think if you think it's worth it, go for it. All right. But I would not be surprised to see this thing continue to go, upsy, downsies, lefty, righties. Next up is Gold Pride. So, disclaimer here with the Gold Pride stuff. We got only 2 new cards in the Gold Pride department. That was it. All right. It was, the level 5 and then whatever the other little mode changer actually was. But this forced Gold Pride cards in the Starlight department to get bought out. Also, a little sub note here. if you have not been paying attention to all of the older Starlights, it would appear right now that people have gotten over the Starlight debacle, and things like the Gold Pride Captain Carries restarted. They're now $97 a piece, which once again, you take a look at it and you're like, wow, Starlight market's dead. Why are Starlights going back up in price? Well, believe it or not, TCG exclusive archetype, which means probably not going to get any other higher rarities for a very long time, which means we're kind of out of the woods for quarter centuries. You know, we had 2 Starlight rares, and Gold Pride, believe it or not, is kind of hype. All right, like, you might not believe this, but players out here, you know, they liked the Gold Pride lore. All right, I mean, we just had a supply set for this. All right, we had deck boxes, we had sleeves. You know, they might not have sold the most fantastically, but if something tends to get a supply, you know, sleeves, mats, and things like that, it means that Konami is banking on the hype for this and the popularity. So I think with the new support coming and players looking back at Gold Pride and picking up some of the older stuff, I think it means that people are excited for it. Who would have guessed that? But right now, I don't think the support necessarily makes it worth wanting to pick up and play into this higher rarity market. Like, not worth it. Next up is Mystic Piper. Oh, okay. Yes, you can see the fog in my glasses with this. This is such a frustrating consideration out here because King of Boyo and Mystic Piper, it always points to the old format stuff out here. You know, there are a lot of older cards that do not have reprints, and Mystic Piper is one of those cards. Piper Chaos is a fantastic example of how much people have loved Mystic Piper throughout the years. But when you're looking at these price points of these cards, and Mystic Piper's still, they're down to 6 listings with mod plays at $15. Now, mod plays at 15 is not the strangest thing in the world, that's for sure. But if you have an old card that has this much love and has not been reprinted this yet, your timer just continuously pushes down on this. Like, this is a walking, talking disaster. The minute that Konami decides to call down the reprint ladder on this and call it off. If you are planning on playing older formats that it typically involve Mystic Piper, then you probably have already picked up Mystic Pipers. I guess the question is where does Konami reprint Mystic Piper? At what point do they feel like it? Because we've been saying for years, Mystic Piper's going to get the reprint. You know, it's going to happen. And still to this day, the Extreme Victory card does not have a reprint. So that's something to really consider out here. I don't know. I think it will happen eventually. But for now, I guess carry on, my wayward soul. Like, I don't know. Like, Mystic Piper breaks most of the standard rules that we have been set forth with a lot of this stuff. And, well, we'll have to wait and see. That's the Mystic Piper paradox. And then we got Yubel Support over here. Not gonna lie, the Throne of Yubel was a fantastic card. Good job, Konami. You did really good. The Great Scrimmer was okay. I'm not gonna. Where's my Phantom Blaster retrain? You know, come on. Where's my Phantom Sky Blaster retrain? Come on, Konami. You know, we know you got it out there. We know it exists. All right, but this latest round of Yubel Support, you know, especially if we're heading into Phantom Nightmare here, maybe you want to pick up your Yubel Support. Maybe you're very optimistic. Maybe you're excited for the Throne. Maybe you're like, oh, you know, hey, they spread Yubel Support out across 2 sets. You know, it's looking a little bit more inviting than I had, you know, maybe initially had thought. I do think that Yubel being a tiered rogue deck is very cool. I actually don't think anybody's really complaining about, you know, Yubel coming into the meta here being a challenger. I think the thing that people are shocked about was that Konami has found a way to actually, you know, make Yubel feel more like a meta presence. And I think that's extremely cool. But remember, reprints are always a thing, all right? All those Yubel cards are, you know, all the former rarities, you know, you gotta be afraid of those. One OTS common, one reprint along the way, it's game over, all right? So kind of keep that in mind. Unless you're going for full maximum rarity, then you carry on, all right? It's fine. So I want to talk about those high notes here because a lot of interesting things happening. So what do you guys think? Please, comment down below what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.